And we're here. Welcome to the Five Guys on Live. And right now we got three guys, and we'll see if we get any more guys who are willing to go live as the show goes on. It has been a happy Juneteenth weekend as well as happy Father's Day weekend for our fathers who are out there. To all of you who've had children or who have digested them, we wish you nothing but the best. Now, this episode is entitled Ring the Alarm. We are ringing the alarm for a number of reasons. Herschel, happy to see you. Love that brand new profile picture and the creative artworkings that you've done. The number one thing, gentlemen, that we are ringing the alarm about is the return of the one and the only Queen Bee to the pop world. Her brand new single comes out tonight at midnight. Many people are saying that they've heard samples of it, little leaks of it, and that it is a real dance song, very similar to what you would hear from a Lady Gaga. Gentlemen, what do you guys think about the return of the one and only Beyonce? Like, I'm a real Beyonce fan. I'm ringing the alarm. I'm sounding the alarm. I got a Beyonce bank account set aside for whenever she goes on tours. I'm getting the tickets. I'm going to be right there, VIP, whatever it's going to be, whatever it's going to cost. I'm going to be there. Me and a date. But here's the thing. I have to enjoy Beyonce. I can't enjoy her alone. It's going to be me and a date. And so, you know, and it's going to be a good date from start to finish and on after the date, because when I drop that kind of money, better. Anyway, the point is this. The point is this.
Whoa.
Beyonce. Do you feel as though Beyonce is taking a gamble on her legacy with this album? Wait, what are you gonna say, Vince?
You ain't gonna get off the hook with that one, my brother.
Right.
How much money goes into your Beyonce dates? What's that fund looking like? How many zeros?
You want me to be honest? You want me to tell you the truth? The truth.
Please, by all means.
The truth is that I have $8,000 set aside in the Beyonce concert account.
So you floor seats, front row.
I am willing to pay $8,000 for the full Beyonce experience, right? Like, so whatever she's bringing to the table. And I don't know what she's bringing to the table. I don't know, right? Like, right. I just know that I have never, ever in my life been disappointed by a Beyonce concert experience. I have gone to every single Beyonce concert that has come out since being an adult, right? Some came out when I was still in college and high school. I couldn't go. And to be honest with you, I was just an okay Destiny Child fan. So I didn't love Beyonce until Beyonce went solo. That's when I truly became a true Beyonce fan. And I went to the Destiny, you know, her solo album came out before the last Disney Child album came out, right? So when they were doing their farewell tour, I saw that concert 3 times. I saw it twice in Atlanta, and I saw it first in New Orleans at Essence Festival, blew me away. Then I saw that show in Atlanta. They came twice. They came back, encore performance. And I even saw the show at Gwinnett Arena that sold out in like 2 hours. I was lucky enough to be there on the floor. Her work has been so amazing in person that it's worth the money. Like, that is a vacation. That is like, it's worth it. That's my money. You know, that's how much I would spend on a vacation. That's how much I would spend, you know, on a number of things. I'm setting it aside. And I've never spent that much. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't take the money out there. If Beyonce comes, I'm going to be there.
It's there.
A one-time experience to see Beyonce live in concert, you put away almost $8,000 for Beyonce.
That's how much is in that account.
That is okay.
But let me also say, right, let me be fair and say that money is also for, like, if Rihanna drops. So it's not, you know, and at one point, I'm not going to lie to you, it used to be 4 people. I was willing to pay for Prince. I was willing to pay for Usher. I was willing to pay for Rihanna, Beyonce, and also I was willing to pay that money for Kanye West. Kanye West is no longer on the list. Now, Kanye West has given me amazing concerts as well, but he's changed up. Back in the day, Kanye would come with a whole orchestra and give you a full orchestra. Now he's up there just singing. He's off the list. But, you know, I am willing to also put Erykah Badu back on the list, as well as, you know, Maxwell. I'm also going to pay to go to any concert they have.
Erykah Badu.
Yeah, I was able to see her recently, and she's just as good today as she was 20 years ago.
But what was the initial question? My bad, Zach.
The initial question is this a risk that Beyonce should be taking? The fact that she's giving us a dance album that's getting a lot of hype, is this a good risk for her?
Well, we don't know if it's a dance album yet. It could be a dance single. For me, in all honesty, the album being titled Renaissance, in my mind, I sort of equated that to the origin of Beyonce. And when you think of the origin of Beyonce, you think Destiny's Child, you think R&B, you think soul, so on and so forth. In all honesty, that is the Beyonce that I miss. If this new single is anything like Ape Shit or, the Trap and B, that on the run type sound that she's had for like the past, 2 to 3, 4 years, even the Be Alive single that was on the King Richard album. Like, if it's anything in that parameter, that box, I'm just tired of it. I think Beyonce is a phenomenal vocalist, and I love her as an R&B artist. And I think right now R&B music needs that broadcasting. It needs that spotlight, or what have you. So hopefully she will sort of return Renaissance. Go back to the origin of things, and fingers crossed. That's what I want from the album.
Well, and I'm gonna have to be honest. Please don't jump on me. I'm not a Beehive person.
You never have been.
You never have been.
I never have been.
I like some of her music. I'm not like running to the concerts. I'm not running to download the album or anything like that. I've always been a Kelly fan, but but Beyonce, I think she puts out great music. And like, I think this is a risk that she can take. She can afford to take it. Like, she hadn't came out with anything, and I think people are going to jump on it regardless because it's Beyonce. Like, one of my favorite songs, and people don't even know this, and I'm making a confession here, is "You Must Have Lost Your Mind." That's when I really liked Beyonce.
That was a good one.
I was like, okay, who is this? Okay, you. And so I would jam to that anytime, any place. But all of the other stuff, I'm like, okay, it's good. I mean, I think she's a great entertainer. But I'm more of a Jasmine Sullivan, like stand flat foot, sing kind of person. I don't need pomp and circumstance.
Well, we know it's going to be a dance song, a single, and Beyonce, by her own admission, has said this is a pop album. That's what Beyonce is calling the album. Beyonce is saying this is a pop album. That's what came out when it was first announced and released. Then I think someone said, I ain't heard nothing about no country music. And I ain't heard nothing about no country music that is unsubstantiated rumors from you, whoever you may be Facebook user. I ain't never heard no such a thing out there. And, so I also, I bought the box. I bought 2 boxes. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm counting down to get my box in the mail too. I bought 2
So
boxes.
are you like a big, like Beyonce fan where you got to go get Ivy Park and all this kind of stuff?
No one's buying Ivy Park. I don't even know if they say.
Oh, I know people who are that big into Beyonce.
I'm not Saucy Santana, and I don't wear Ivy Park. Okay, I'm not walking around wearing it.
I don't know what you wearing down in Atlanta.
I do not wear Ivy Park. If she made Ivy Park for me, I'm still not gonna wear it. Like, I'm a very plain Jane dresser. And I like a Zach Kirk look, and everyone knows that it's gonna be a long sleeve floral shirt. It's gonna be a solid color T-shirt. It's gonna be the same pair of jean shorts or a pair of like
plain white rice. We know
it's the same. It's not ever gonna change. My style is cemented. It's an old Zach style. I've dressed the same all my life, and it's not going to change. So, I don't know what you're talking about. First off, Facebook user, tell us who you are because it says Facebook user. Then I'll have a better idea if you have any credibility in my eyes. Not only are we, extreme beer, they bought all this stuff, but no, I don't do that. We are also, not only are we ringing the alarm about the brand new Beyonce release, but we're ringing the alarm because our president, Joe Biden, had a little tumble on Saturday. Now, I want to say this. a lot of people, Zach Thomas ran to the internet and sent me the clip of President Biden falling.
Not ran.
He ran to the internet. The internet Beyonce gave us and sent me the picture of my president falling down. But let me tell you what I look at because I have fallen down lots of times, right? Like I have fallen in a spin class. I've fallen down Stone Mountain. I have fallen while running. Like
the more spin class,
Zach, we need to put you in the bubble.
No, it just happens. Like everyone falls. The point, like when you
I don't fall.
It's very common. No, I'm saying it's very common. Like runners and people who are active like this, really, you fall all the time because there's a whole lot of physical coordination and just different things going on. Like you just fall. Here's the thing. Had Joe Biden fallen and not gotten up, I would have been very concerned. But like what you didn't see, Zach, in the clip you sent me, this man popped right back up. He popped up. This picture right here to me tells a story. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Look at this body. Like, I don't believe that Joe Biden is mentally in the sharpest shape. I don't believe that. I'm going to be honest. I don't believe mentally he is as clear as he may have been 10, 20 years ago. But physically, Joe Biden's in good shape. Joe Biden is in physically good shape.
I've never seen the president's kneecaps before.
Right. But
this is awkward.
We've seen Obama with his shirt off in the water. Yeah, he was in the water. Remember on the beach, and people had some with his shirt off.
Okay. He's physically in good shape. I actually saw on Twitter a picture of Trump and Biden like side profile, side by side, and it was like, yeah. One of them is in horrible shape, and it's not, President Biden. But again, that's not to excuse the fact that I don't believe mentally he is as sharp as he once was. I don't believe that. Like, I think when he talks, it's clear. But I don't think we have any kind of physical issue to worry about with this president. What do you guys think, though, physically about our president?
I mean, I just saw it as just a mishap, just an accident. Like you said, people fall, you riding bikes, anything, athletically, whatever, things can happen. So I really didn't give it much attention. I think I'm just hoping that this incident doesn't come up, in an upcoming debate or, if there's a Democratic challenger, we have the ageism conversation floating around already. Let's just keep it a buck in regards to his abilities. So I just hope they don't utilize this as a point.
I mean, I think he's physically fine. I think what I worry was his stage, because he came to a complete stop and was standing there and then fell. I'm like, you were like stable, you were planted.
Well, they said that his foot got caught in the pedal.
Oh, okay.
Like you're pedaling, and his foot got caught like in the pedal and the shoestring, and that made him fall. That's what they said.
But then you're gonna say Biden takes a tumble, and
well, he took a tumble. I mean, he took a tumble. President Biden did indeed, just like Scarlett, take a tumble.
Scarlett, right? That's what I thought about.
Scarlett took a massive tumble. That tumble wasn't nowhere near.
When you Scarlett takes a tumble, I went straight to Scarlett.
Listen,
so he took a tumble. And so, we had to ring the alarm for our president. And we also have to ring the alarm for, our state. Yesterday was Father's Day, and many fathers celebrated fatherhood, all the things they've done for their children, all the things that represents. And we were proud to tell many fathers Happy Father's Day, including the one and only Herschel Walker.
These transitions, I can't.
Herschel Walker and we know his son Christian. He's a very popular TikTok creator. He's said a lot. He says a lot. And the two of them seem like a dynamic duo. But we found out last week that this wasn't his only son or child. We found out that he has a total of 4 other children, some of whom that he's paying for child support and supporting them. He says he supports all his kids. But we know now that there are a total of to all the children that were had or digested. So we know that we now know that this man has 4 children that he may not have actually disclosed publicly. The question is, does this really matter? And do you think it's going to have any impact on those who support him for senator of these United States of America to represent Georgia?
No, I don't think it's going to have any effect. We know the ultimate thing in his pocket right now is just being endorsed by Trump. So once you get that endorsement, clearly Trump has done many wrongdoings, and he still existed in that presidential space. So I highly doubt him coming out saying that he had 3 other children in the fourth quarter is going to affect anything. And then he also made a comment in a recent interview saying that when he was inducted as the president of sports and nutrition or something like that, he did admit that he had all 4 kids, but because he didn't want to bring his children into the political atmosphere, who wants his, saying that his kids don't want to be involved or should not be involved in political garbage. But I just think the way that you sort of presented it is, attested to political garbage, to a degree. So it's like you sort of fed in to the whole thing. I think what's going to get Herschel Walker, which I really hope we get some type of senatorial debate between Warnock and Walker. I think that's going to be the deciding factor, because I just think you talk about, Biden and his, mental capacity. I think that Walker and his mental capacity versus Warnock, that's going to be like a Kamala versus Pence type situation. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
I would agree with that. I think I don't think it's going to hurt him one bit, even though I'm not in Georgia. But I do think Georgians who won't Warnock out will be voting for him just because he's a Republican on the ticket on the ballot, and they don't care about what he brings and what he talks about or his past. But I do agree with Vince. I would love to see a debate between the two, just based off of some of the stuff that he said currently on interviews. I would love to see a debate between Warnock and Walker. I would think it will be a drag race.
Well, if it will be a drag race, Republicans will not be watching, supporting it, or letting their children watch it. I'm leaning in a little bit of a different direction, because I believe that the Georgia Republican primaries taught us something different about Georgia Republicans. Is that, number one, they are not beholden to Donald Trump, and that the majority of Georgia Republicans are not really brainwashed and buying what Donald Trump is selling. Like, they will pretend, and they will they'll be out here saying whatever they need to say. But when it came down time for them to get in the ballot box and click who they voted for, they voted against who Donald Trump told them to vote for. They said no to almost every single Donald Trump candidate. Not me on here looking like Christian Walker from that interview he did with his hair looking crazy. So we definitely. So I believe that Georgia voters are not going to support and endorse Herschel Walker in the real election, and that we're going to have Warnock win again. Probably not easy, but it's going to be a pretty decisive victory. Polls are now showing that Warnock and Herschel Walker are like neck and neck. And in this current political climate, with so much fault being given to the Democratic Party, and then Warnock being the incumbent Democratic senator in a state that hasn't had a Democratic senator in so long, I think that he's very safe. It worries me for Stacey Abrams because poll numbers aren't showing the same for her. So right. I think that Warnock, as of right now, unless something drastically changes, I feel like it's only going to get worse for Herschel Walker. And I think that, he's going to lose those Republicans who are moderate, and he's not going to win a lot of independents.
So you don't think people are still voting straight ticket?
No, not in Georgia.
Stacey will win?
Not in Georgia. I don't think in Georgia people are doing that the way that we've seen in the past. I believe that it's going to be a lot of people who are going to do split voting. I do this year. more so than usual. It's not going to be like just I'm voting for Republican or I'm voting for Democrats, because the quality of these candidates and how they are able to gain support in the party is all over the place. An example is Brad Raffensperger. Right. Unfortunately, a number of Democrats who are moderate are saying they're going to vote for Brad Raffensperger because he did the right thing.
Right.
And they're also saying that they don't know enough about B. Wynn, being that she's so young and she's a little inexperienced. And they're saying they're going to vote for Raffensperger. So I believe Democrats are going to do some switching and swapping. And I think Republicans are going to do some as well.
Yeah. And not to switch states, but I heard via MSNBC that's going to be the situation in what's that, Wyoming, where Cheney is. A lot of Democrats are going to switch to Republican just to keep her in some type of winning position. Or what have you. So yeah, this should be a pretty interesting primary. It really should.
Yeah, I think so across the United States. And Candy, I did see that Stacey was at the I think College Park Festival Day. I did. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, a lot of ads about Warnock and inflation. But this is the thing. I see these ads and I wonder, where is the Warnock response? Senator Warnock needs to be pointing out the fact that congressional Democrats put forth a bill to end price gouging with gasoline that no Republican voted for. The Democrats put forth a number of bills that didn't have bipartisan support, that didn't go anywhere. And you constantly have these attacks being lobbied, but where are the counterattacks? And I can't blame anyone but his own campaign for not using all this money they have to combat the inaccurate narrative that's being portrayed by Republicans. That's a concern. Well, I think there are a number of moderate Black men, but guess what? I think that's probably going to change after some things that happened this past weekend in Texas. So we need to really also not only sound the alarm for all the children that Herschel Walker has fathered, for the president taking his tumble, for Beyonce's new album, but also for the fact that Republicans in the state of Texas came together this past Juneteenth weekend to create one of the most offensive, racist, homophobic, xenophobic platforms in the modern era of American politics. Now, let me give you the brief breakdown. This past weekend, Republicans in Texas that included their governor, included their senators, came together to say that they were going to literally have an approval process put in place to say that Biden was not legitimately elected to be the president of the United States. They also came through to rebuke the bipartisan gun bill. They also said that homosexuality is an abnormal lifestyle choice, and they want it to be referred to in this way. Also, the log cabin Republicans, I don't know why they still live in their log cabins and support the Republicans, but they do. They have now been kicked out and no longer allowed to be a part of the Texas Republican Party because they're gay, and they endorse and celebrate that. They also said that they are going to work to repeal the 1965 Voting Rights Act that gave all people, Black people in the United States, the right to vote. They are saying this is the platform of the Texas Republican Party. Now, this is a big danger in that, right? Because we can sit here and say, I don't live in Texas. This is a national, this is how, like, Republicans do this in one or two states to see how it works, and then they adopt it and it spreads around. They tried out Don't Say Gay in Florida. Now look how many states now have a Don't Say Gay bill. They tried out the transgender bathroom laws and rules in North Carolina. Look how many states then adopted those same policies. They're doing this as a litmus test in Texas to see how well it goes over, to spread this same kind of belief system all around the United States. If moderate Black men want to vote on anything ever, they will no longer be moderate Black men and finally cross over, because this is an assault on the civil rights of every single non-white male in the United States of America. What do you guys think?
It's about to get real ugly, even uglier in this country. I just think Of course, we know GOP, Grand Old Party, equates to conservatives. They're just trying to conserve their doctrine, their strategy, their platform, what they feel is right for the country, white supremacy, all that kind of thing, in terms of the MAGA party, so on and so forth. I don't want to generalize all the Republicans or what have you. But just with the way of the world right now, black people going to be black people. Gay people going to be, we ain't going nowhere. Nobody going nowhere. These people are here. These people are thriving. These people are multiplying. They are flourishing, so on and so forth. And especially in recent, years, definitely since the pandemic or what have you, like these people not shutting up. And I just really feel that, like they can do all they can and they can pass and try to pass all they can. But I really feel like America as a whole, minorities as a whole, they're not going down without a fight. They're not going down without a challenge. I will say that I hope that we are, like you said, Zach, that we are all becoming more cognizant. There you go. That we all are just becoming more cognizant of the rules and the policies, not rules, the policies and the laws that are coming in place nationwide, how they're replicating all these things, because it is a danger. 1000%. We just can't let it roll off our backs. And like you said, oh, I don't live in Texas, so this is irrelevant to me. It's relevant to all of us. Okay. If it affects one community and you're a part of that community, then you should definitely care. So definitely be aware about it. But yeah, it's about to get ugly, man.
It's about to, or it's already ugly. So I'm not surprised. We all knew it was coming. We all knew their agenda, and they pretty much laid it out point by point by point. Like, it wasn't a surprise to me. And I always have said there are two states that I won't live in, and one of them we just spoke of. We're speaking about now. So I leave it at that. But I'm not surprised, and I think definitely this is a litmus test for other states to follow, as well as for Republicans to kind of hop on the bandwagon. And I think this is a way for cisgendered white men to kind of take control of what they think they're lost control of, is the United States. And so they want to make sure that we don't have any gays, LGBTQ plus IA long acronym here. They want to make sure that the black people don't want to have the rights to vote. They also, and women, be careful, because they're still coming after you. We saw that with the abortion. And so it's going to be continuously going on of every marginalized individual. They're strategic about it. So, yeah.
You know, I think I really think that I don't agree. I think that this is a lot more. I think that our rights are more fragile than we realize. And it's really easy to see the world that we've always lived in, because, to be fair about it, we're relatively young enough people. And, you know, even me. And we've only lived in a world where we've had a lot of rights. But the reality is those rights are only ours because they're granted into law. And those laws can be changed at any given point. We have to understand that Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party ran and lost. And they took 10 years to build an infrastructure to take power. And they took power 10 years after he lost. That is what I feel that we're seeing right now. And I promise you, there was a point when Jewish people in Germany said they'll never take our rights because they're guaranteed to us by law. But how do you do that is you change the law. We have 7 Supreme Court justices who are conservative and beholden to this party sitting on the Supreme Court. They have an undeniable, all-powerful majority on the court. So if they were to start a nationwide movement to make the right to vote a state right instead of a federal right, which was already put into motion by John Roberts, I want to say in 2014 or 15, it will be very likely to pass. They could literally strip away our rights as citizens at any given moment because they'll have the majority if they hold power. That's as fragile as it is. And why has it not happened before? It hasn't happened before because our lawmakers were better people. They were more decent people. It was the bad thing to come out and be a racist. It was a bad thing to come out and be a homophobe. But these things have now become acceptable by a huge portion of American society, and they are using that to make more and more people accept their hate-filled beliefs. And I don't know if we're doing enough to combat it. I don't know if Black people in America are fighting enough. I don't know if LGBTQ plus people in America are doing. I just don't know if we're doing enough. I don't think that we are. I see a lot of people doing a lot for themselves to build their platforms, to build their brands, to build their opportunities. But I don't know if there's a real, true concerted effort to bring about awareness of things that are happening and to combat and fight against these things that are happening. I don't know if it's happening.
Welcome, Darius. Did you just wake up?
Good morning. Happy Juneteenth. Yes, I woke up like this. I woke up like this. If Texas wants to secede from the union, then by all means, let the GOP take them and their country, and they can go on and be their own union, whatever they want to do. Let them go, and we can just be done with it. Y'all give us Beyonce, and we'll give y'all secession.
They can take the whole. I mean, they can have.
Do we have Megan too?
They can have Texas and Oklahoma. No, it could be Texas and Oklahoma. And if Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, and Florida want to join, they can have all of it. If that's what they want to do. By deuces. And they can do whatever they want to do, and they can have all the access they want to have, and they can pass all the laws they want to have. It's fine with me.
Baby.
I'm happy to lose Texas and Oklahoma, because let me tell you what will happen then is that we would have a Democratic majority in this country that could be unsurpassed, because you got California and New York, and we know they're not going to turn around and go with the evil empire. So deuces, Texas, you gonna contribute jack squat in my opinion to the president of America, Texas. I ain't gonna set my foot in Texas. I was about to say my black ass. I'm not gonna set my foot in Texas.
But you said
I'm not gonna set my foot in Texas again until Greg Abbott rolls up on out of there.
It's the freedom for me.
Gail, you talking about they can have? I don't care about them folks having lights and not lights. Lights out, lights out. Get on out of here. Preach.
Right.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. They can roll on out of there. I mean, if that's what they want to do, because they're not what they're bringing to the table is absolutely insane. And again, I want to know, where are the Democrats in Texas, the progressives in Texas, and the advocates in Texas who be fighting out against this? I don't see anybody talking out about it. I don't see it. And that also concerns me. And I know something else that may be concerning.
Well, real quick. So I did watch a news report from a Texas news station, KXAN. They reported about this. And they did something. They did a little screen capture, talking about the platform perspective for the Republican Party of Texas. Their platform perspective. Last time they took a vote, 2018, only 5,000 people voted on that Republican platform, but the most latest election, 1.8 million Republicans voted. 1.8 million Republicans voted in March. So they're saying that it's a small percentage of Republicans that in Texas that actually are going for this platform that doesn't represent the entire body of the Texas Republicans, so on and so forth. 5,000 versus 1.8 million. That's a big thing. Not saying we should not be concerned, but yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is where it questions me. Like, if the Democrat, let's say it was flipped, right? And the Democratic Party was saying these things, I would no longer be able to be a Democrat. Like, I wouldn't be able to sit here and say I'm a Democrat or vote Democrat if Democrats were saying I don't want Black people to vote. If Democrats were saying that homosexuality is an abnormal lifestyle choice and I want to criminalize it, I couldn't be a part of that party. So I wonder about those 1.8 million who are still saying I'm a Republican when this is happening.
But it's not a majority, and I can definitely see that. And I think that's the same as, like, if you think about Anna Navarro, who still say I'm a Republican, but yet I'm not a Trumplican, or the other right wing or these Republicans that are talking bull. They believe in the Republican strategic plan that started way back when, not the one now.
I don't believe that. I do believe that Republicans are less likely to embrace change than Democrats. And I believe that they're not willing to see what's right in front of their face, what's clearly happening in their party, if they're still saying that. Like whatever party that they thought they once were a part of is gone. It doesn't exist.
We still have in the Democratic Party, we have those differences. Not everybody's an AOC or the Ayanna Pressley or Omar kind of Democrat. Not everyone believes in that.
We consider them Democrats. But here's the thing: it's about what is the majority. Right. When I'm listening to what Republicans across the nation are saying, and the fact that you have over 300 anti-LGBTQI plus bills sitting in state legislatures for law, when I'm hearing across the United States of America, Republicans saying that they don't want any measures to mitigate gun control, when I'm hearing across these things, to me, that's the majority. And if you are a Republican, to me, you're co-signing on those beliefs. There are plenty of LGBTQIA Republicans out there. Not for long. They got kicked out of Texas. We'll kick them out in every state. Roll them gays on out of there. Get them. There are some out there. Get them gay Republicans. Get them. And they still have belief in the Republican Party, regardless if the Republican Party loves them.
But you know what? To that point, that's just like the log cabin Republican people. You know, it's like, yeah, you're a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, but it's like they done exiled you out in the party, and you still remain in a part of the grander scheme, the grander party, what have you. Like, I agreed. Like, it just takes me back to that episode of The View when Sonny challenged both Anna and I forgot the other lady. She was like, well, why are y'all both, as a Latina and as a Black woman, and they're doing all of these oppressive things towards both communities, why are you still a part of this? You know, and it's factual. Here's the thing about the log cabins, right? Why they sitting up in their log cabins? There's so many. I have a lot of jokes I could say about this. I was gonna make a joke about why they're sitting in their log cabins, you know, making a certain kind of chocolate candy, but I'm not gonna say that. Here's the thing: the log cabin Republicans are typically in a position to where they're saying that their wealth will protect them in a capitalistic society, that no matter what laws are passed to hold back their community and to attack their personhood, they put their financial standing and their financial status and their racial status ahead of everything else and feel as though in the end we will be okay. And so will our children and so will our family members. And I'm actually kind of relieved to see the Republican Party say, actually, gays, not the case. We hate you and we want you out. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Kick them out, Republicans. Show the world who you are and what you believe in and put them in the dirt, because they should not still be beholden to your hateful rhetoric. In my humble opinion, again, we have a Facebook user who's a Darius fan. And indeed, it was a Brokeback Mountain situation, because I promise you, everybody on that Brokeback Mountain was voting Republican then, and they still vote Republican now, eating cans and cans of beans. We're ringing the alarm, not just for all these hate-filled bills, but we're also ringing the alarm for the one and the only Wendy Williams. This past Friday, Darius. Okay, this past Friday, the Wendy Williams show aired its very last episode. And unfortunately, Darius, tell us about it. I can't even do it. You just, Darius.
I had to phone my cry angle because I'm so distraught. I just can't believe it. It's been a great run. And we finally made it to the time that the Wendy Williams show is no more. So Wendy Williams has officially ended its run on Fox, and the show will be replaced with the Sherry Show starting later on in the fall. And unfortunately, the final episode of Wendy Williams was missing the most important piece of the puzzle for the Wendy show, which is Wendy Williams.
Norman.
So it's just, it's the end of a legacy. It's the end of a great run. And I, for one, will miss Wendy Williams being on the Wendy Williams show. But I just don't know that this is it for Wendy. I think that Wendy is not the type of person that's going to take it laying down. So we'll see what ends up becoming of the Wendy Williams show.
Did you hear she have struck a deal with a podcast that's supposed to be coming out soon?
Now that I would tune into.
So that's on the rise. She said that she's going to do a podcast.
Now that's dangerous.
Because she ain't got no guardrails in place.
That's what I'm saying. Wendy Williams, uninterrupted, no commercial breaks, no parameters, no red tape.
Oh, you just gave her a name.
A little table right beside her.
That's dangerous.
But I think it's just so unfortunate, It's like daytime TV will never be the same. And I think we've talked about this quite a few times. Whether or not you like Wendy Williams has definitely contributed to pop culture for over a decade, if not longer. So it's just sad to see her go out like this. I always prefer to see people go out on top, but I guess, when you are dealing in the type of entertainment that she's dealing is kind of hard to do that. So hopefully, we'll get to see her leave in her full glory and not just have this kind of stain on her career by missing the entire last season of her show.
So what do we think? We have one talk show host leaving, Black woman, but we have 3 that's going to be on. We're still going to have Tamron Hall. We're going to have the Sherry Show, and then now J Hud has a show.
I'm not watching none of that.
So we're not going to support.
I'll listen to that on the iPod.
I don't watch just because you got a Black woman sitting up on a chair. I don't watch just anything. I don't watch just here's a Black person.
You got to give it a chance.
No.
I'm just really trying to figure out the point of Jennifer Hudson having a talk show.
Is she gonna
for me, Kelly Clarkson makes sense because she hosted award shows. She has that type of personality. Kelly Clarkson is talkative. Like she communicates. She has great relationships with the industry. Yeah, but Jennifer Hudson, I'm saying that she doesn't. I don't know, but she just doesn't come off like I want to listen to you on the couch for 45 minutes. Like she just doesn't have that demeanor to me. It's so odd.
I'm a Jennifer Hudson fan. Zach Kirk is a J Hud fan. I have always been a Jennifer Hudson fan.
Likewise.
When I was rooting for Jennifer Hudson until she was voted off American Idol. Then I started rooting for was LaToya Luckett? Was that LaToya London?
LaToya London.
Yeah.
So that's who I wanted to win. I was 100% behind LaToya, and I'm a bigger fan of Fantasia now. But Jennifer was my number 1 pick. But let me tell you the honest to God truth, and I say this to this day, and y'all, I think I've said it on the show. Y'all didn't agree with me. Zachary Kirk believes that Jennifer Hudson is the best American voice alive today. I do not believe she's ever had high quality production. I don't believe she's ever had the best people doing the work for her, like she needs for that voice. But the voice itself is unmatched, especially when she's singing like standards and classics like the Star Spangled Banner. But when it comes down to her live presence, when I tell you I paid my money for her, like I paid for Beyonce, and I saw that good woman up in concert at the Fox Theater, and I was so shocked at how boring she was and how awful her stage presence was. And I said to myself, something's missing. Jennifer Hudson maybe doesn't have like a good personality because she came across as cold and boring, like very unrelatable to the audience. And I was mad about it. I'm like, I paid money for this. And that's back when I didn't have money to pay.
Come on back, Win.
He got coins now.
Oh, and also really quick, I guess to sort of, shake up the talk show world right now. The Talk brought back Holly Robinson Peete, so now she's officially back in the lineup in the cast. Like
why did she leave in the first place?
Well, they kicked her off. They got rid of her the first season or whatever that drama was. But yeah, they officially brought her back like yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday. Yesterday was Monday. No, Friday.
Why did they get? Oh, wait a minute.
Friday.
Was she on there for like a lot of seasons?
No, she was on there for like one, right? She was an OG. But some stuff hit the fan. It was some drama. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was some drama.
I bet it was that racist Sharon Osbourne. Let me look this up.
But yeah, they did bring her back. And you know, the talk is I didn't know it was unisex. I didn't know it was I did it.
Yeah, they got
shut up, Zach.
Osborne said that she was too ghetto. Remember, she said she was too ghetto for the talk. And then they brought the guy after they got Osborne off the show for her with her and her bullshit and all the stuff that she did to manipulate those other girls.
Oh,
she back.
Yeah, she's back. She's back. So this new wave of talk shows should be quite interesting in the next year or two to see who survives.
You know, like I have tried to watch Tamron Hall. And she is still not grown on me. She may grow on me in time. I'm glad she's coming back, but it's not must-watch TV. The View for me is like I record it every day. I watch it no matter what at some point in the day. I will turn on my TV and I will watch Kelly Clarkson as well. I will. Like her show, this is just me. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the show. I like her guests. She has good guests. I actually started watching clips of the Drew Barrymore show, and it actually, to me, is like really like funny in parts.
Are you serious?
I think that Drew Barrymore has it. I think she has it. I do.
Really?
I do.
I may have to watch it again.
I've never watched the whole show. Let me not lie to you.
I have sat down and been intentional about watching excerpts and pieces of her show, and I'm still trying to figure out how that deal came to the table.
And it's been on for like what, 4 years? It's going to the 4th season.
Jesus Christ! And then this is the crazy thing about it: for her to be on so long, 4 seasons or 4 years, a lot of people still don't know that it exists.
But doesn't it come on at late night in Atlanta? Like, isn't it like at 4 a.m. or something?
I don't know. I just see it on YouTube.
I've only seen clips. That's why I'm saying I don't even think in the city of Atlanta she gets a prime time slot. She's not on daytime television in Atlanta. I think that Drew is like 4 a.m. in the morning. The Drew Barrymore show gets to come on.
And I feel like Tamron Hall show is like when Meredith and Katie Couric had their shows 3 seasons.
But Tamron won an Emmy, and so that's why she keep getting
nominated. You won an Emmy for the show?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's dope.
For what?
For her show.
But you mean to tell me that Tamron Hall beat out like Ellen?
Yes.
For best. Let me see what she won.
Let me see what she
go back. I think it was like a year or so ago in her first year. Like she won a talk show host.
Outstanding informative talk show host.
Right. And it's behind her.
She has been shaking the table. She got the exclusive on Andrew Gillum and all the mess that he had going on down there in Florida, in the hotel with them people. She had T.S. Madison. I thought it was great to see T.S. Madison, someone who's talked about not being able to make it onto a lot of the mainstream shows, but Tamron Hall opened up that door. So there's a market for her for sure. I
need to Google. I want to watch a T.S. Madison clip of her on the show. And maybe she can bring Kaya on the show too, because I would love to see Kaya also on a Tamron Hall, even have a segment. Can we get Kaya like a late night talk show?
No.
It would be great. Oh, it would be great.
We got one on YouTube. She ain't doing it no more.
I watch clips that I can, but I really want to see Kaya and TS get paid big money to reunite and give us that show again on the show, because they were together.
It'll never be a show like that ever again.
That was a dream team. It was like, Vincent, CJ, Darius, and Rodney, a dream team. And
wait a minute. Let's just wait a minute, because you're not gonna do Zach like this.
or Zach and Zach. What the hell?
There you go. See, we have a dream team.
Come back, Zach.
That was for every host. There's a matching partner, like CJ and Vince, Darius and Rodney. It really wasn't shade to you, Zach. It was more shade to poor Darius. But anyway, moving on from there, we have a pretty good, robust after show tonight, guys. For those of you who are watching, and let me kind of share, we're gonna definitely talk more about Wendy because that after show audience loves Wendy. They also love Beyonce, but we're gonna talk about Lil Nas X adding a new word to the dictionary. And we're gonna talk about that. So here okay, Aaliyah, look now. Tell me in the chat. Aaliyah is a Bridgerton girl. Aaliyah, did you get your big dress with the big hoops? And are you going to the Atlanta Bridgerton experience? Are any of you guys going to the Atlanta Bridgerton experience?
One of my friends invited me. I don't know. If
they have it here. They have it in DC.
Are you
everybody goes? No, I haven't went. I was just in DC this weekend. I saw like 4 black women in the big dresses and the hair coming from back. And they said it was great. They were like wasted. And were like,
were they dressed up in Bridgerton clothes?
Yeah. Yes.
Where do you even buy Bridgerton clothes?
From the costume store?
Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the read. Yeah. So did the read get on like YouTube and stuff? I didn't know that. Like I would have loved. I would have given it a chance. I listen to the read every now and then. Yeah, Candy. I'm not going either.
Are we gonna talk about Drake's album?
Oh wait, you're not going. Okay. So yeah, no. You want to go, Candy? I'm not going with you to that now.
No.
You get your big Queen Elizabeth gown if you want to. I'll walk up in there. I'm not gonna be able to do it. And we'll be talking about the brand. Yeah, we'll be talking about Lil Nas X adding words to the dictionary. We're all going to talk about the Drake album. Did you guys listen to the album yet?
I've heard about 2 or 3 songs.
And you couldn't finish any more than that?
No, I got busy. I got occupied. So I haven't given it a full shot yet.
So we're going to talk about the new Drake album on the after show, as well as Saucy Santana's comment about how gays run the world and things that were said that many women, or not, let me be fair to Darius, because he gets really protective of his boy, Saucy Santana.
And all the people of marginalized groups continue.
We love them all. Yay! Have your month. But here's the thing. Saucy Santana says things that made some women mad. And I actually have an opinion about this that Darius may agree with when we talk about it on the after show. I'm telling you, you really may be surprised at what I'm going to say. We're going to also talk about the Omarion and Mario verses and the guys. You tell me who your favorite will be of those two, because I had to really think about this because neither one of them really make a big difference in my life, but I really thought about it and I have picked who I think will be the winner. So yeah, do we have any Black History, Darius? It's Juneteenth.
I got one.
Oh, good.
Shout out to Jennifer Hudson for becoming an EGOT winner.
She did.
How about that? I think the only second Black woman, right?
Yes. Whoopi Goldberg and Jennifer Hudson are now EGOTs. They have the
one of the youngest,
Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony, and we are proud of those EGOTs. But I thought too that there were 3, but I could be wrong. But I thought that
John Legend is an EGOT.
John Legend's an EGOT.
Okay, so we have 3 Black EGOT winners, 2 Black females, and I guess 1 Black male.
You guess?
I don't know. Let's Google.
Yeah.
We need to have the 5 guys on Live Awards where we honor the best. I'm glad that you agree with Saucy Santana.
I would not be.
You can stand in solidarity, but these comments, again, I don't agree with the comments, but I actually am going to be defending Saucy shortly.
I don't know that I will.
Well, we're going to talk about it. Everybody join us on Instagram Live. You can go and see Zach's page, Darius' page, Vince's page, or my page, The Zactivist. We will see you shortly. Thank you for joining. And again, check us right now on IG for the after show.
And who was the Facebook user that called me a cutie?